Hey guys, I hope you're having a great day. It's tax day. Not that I know what that means, but lots of people do. I mean, I know what it means, but there's a lot of accountants and stuff that work really hard. And anyways, glad that that's over for the year. Okay, so today, Ariel is actually, oh, there she is. She's here. Ariel, unmute yourself. Unmute yourself. Ooh.
Hello.
Hey, Julie Henson's on here, and she goes, "Oh my gosh, there's a new restaurant in Olney. I should have told them about."
Oh, well, tell us right back home tomorrow.
So,
we didn't see it. So.
well, okay. So Ariel's on her way to Lubbock, and Olney is where my husband Scott grew up, and it's a little bitty town. And so they text to see where they should go eat. But there's Kathy. Do you see they're waving? Kathy Yates is with them. It's gonna be a huge meeting in Lubbock. They keep freezing because they're Celeste. And I think Rebecca's driving, but they're on their way to Lubbock to do a huge meeting. And so if you are anywhere near Lubbock, get there because it's going to be awesome. So anyways, I'm glad you got on because you might get cut out in a minute because you're in the middle of nowhere. And I can say that because that's where Scott grew up. But I love where Scott grew up. But anyways, okay, so today we have one of our favorite Plexus people ever on our call, Cheyenne Weable, and she is a Diamond Ambassador. I'm sure many of you know her. And I had the privilege of meeting Cheyenne at my very first convention, and we just happened to sit next to each other and have become she is just the best friend ever, and she is my sideline. And so if you don't have a sideline, then you need to get one because just full of encouragement and ideas, and we do calls together, and we're doing a book study together right now, and so just tons of encouragement. So if you do not have a sideline, I highly suggest getting one. But today, Cheyenne's going to talk about her story, and she's going to talk about why personal growth is so important. I have watched her, and she has grown in this area so much, and it's been really cool to see. We actually were talking about this on a Zoom this morning with our book study group, and it's been really cool to watch. So I'm going to give it over to her, and if you have questions, in the meantime, you can put them in the chat, and we'll try to get to them. So thank you so much, Cheyenne, for hopping on.
Thank you, Beth, for having me. And like Beth said, if you don't have a sideline, you definitely need to get one because Beth has really been, she's put up with a lot for me. She's been that person that I've been able to go to in, the good times and the hard times. And it's been amazing. So if you don't have a sideline partner, get one for sure. But my name is Cheyenne Weable, and like Beth said, I am a Diamond Ambassador. I have two girls. JC is 19 and Macy's 14, and I have an amazing husband. So my journey started in June of 2013 when Celeste Gwen asked me, I get chats start popping up and I start getting sidetracked, sorry. But she asked me to take Plexus to a mutual friend of ours in Vietnam. And so of course I wanted to know what the product was. I wanted to know if I was going to be in trouble in customs or, if it was going to be really big and it was going to take up a lot of space. And so she reassured me and she said, it's just a small package and a small bottle of products and you're not going to get in trouble. And I said, okay. So I agreed to take them, but to our friend, but then I started wondering, I was like, what is this? So I started stalking Celeste's Facebook page and I saw that she had lost almost 30 pounds. Well, I decided, hey, I want to lose weight too. So I called her up and I said, I wanted to try the products. She was really easy to work with. She wasn't pushy or anything. So I was like, I can do this. So I bought as a preferred customer. And then within three days, I lost 3 pounds. And so I posted on Facebook. I couldn't believe these products actually worked. But I posted that on Facebook and I had somebody that wanted to buy. So I messaged Celeste and I told her, hey, I have a new customer for you. And she told me, you really should think about selling it. And I said, no, I'm a kindergarten teacher. Kevin's the one who does medical sales. I don't want any part of selling. And she said, Cheyenne, if you had 2 or 3 customers, then you could probably make enough to get your products paid for. Well, she got me because I was like, well, that'd be nice not having to pay for my products. So I signed up to sell. and went just a few days later to Vietnam. She had told me, though, she said, you need to post it on Facebook. And I said, okay. So I did what she said. And while I was in Vietnam, I posted, you know, not all the time, but several times throughout my trip to Vietnam over 3 weeks. And I ended up with new customers, and I ended up with my very first ambassador. And I remember my first ambassador went silver, and I thought, what in the world does it mean to go silver, and why are we celebrating that? Y'all, I didn't have a clue. And so Kim had been in another network marketing company before, and so she was able to explain a lot of this to me, because I would try to read over the comp plan, and it was just like reading a different language. I didn't understand it. So she would explain it to me or whatever, and I thought, well, I want to go silver. And so by the end of July, I ended up going silver. And then it was crazy. I got home from Vietnam in the middle of July, and I had lost 12 pounds. I posted, I think, in August, my before and after picture. And it was like, that's when our team took off. So it was a really fast journey to diamond. So in 7 months, I went emerald. In 9 months, I went sapphire. And in 11 months, I went diamond. I actually went diamond basically sitting next to Beth at convention when we first met, and bless her heart, she had to hear me the whole convention going, oh my gosh, I only need 20 points. Oh my goodness, I only need, 18 points. And she was right there with me counting down.
It was so fun. She always says that, and I'm like, it was so fun. It was so exciting. So, and who knew that it was going to become this? Do what?
I said, you probably couldn't concentrate, because it was like every 5 minutes I was like, oh my goodness.
No, it was perfect.
But at that convention, so it was amazing. Went diamond at convention. But at that convention, I will always remember Sonia Dudley was up on stage, and she made the comment. She said, any of you can be up here next year. And Beth and I looked at each other, and we both said, absolutely not. No way. We're not doing it. Well, Beth made it a challenge for herself, and she went on to do Super Saturday and was up on stage in front of people. Y'all, I stopped dead in my tracks. I kid you not. Beth and I both at that convention were in the top 10 of convention contest earners. We both earned a suite, and I mean, it was crazy. Like my team was in full momentum. And it's like right then when I said no, I wasn't going to do that, and I meant no, I was never going to do that, fear truly stopped me. And so over the next few months, I got my Alexis, and my husband quit his job, and I quit my teaching job, and fear really set in. It was fear of the unknown. What if? What if this falls apart? What if I can't do this? What if, it was just on and on. What if I get stuck with this Lexus payment? Y'all, in August of that summer, my points started going backwards. So I had been in full momentum, came to a dead stop, and then in August, my points started going backwards. And it was hard. Because honestly, everything happened so fast. I didn't know how I got there, and I really didn't know how to help anyone else get there. And so I got kind of into panic mode. It was crazy. And so it was awesome, because at that point, my husband kind of stepped up. That's when he went all in with Plexus, and he started posting on my team page and really encouraging our team members. I don't know what would have happened to our team had that not happened. But each month, we just continued to go backwards. And in December of 2014, I lost the rank of diamond by 9 points. And y'all, I was so embarrassed, and I was so just upset. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know how I got there in the first place, so I really didn't know how I was going to go back. But I was so embarrassed that I could not even reach out to our team and ask for 2 people to help me. I just couldn't. It was pride. It was just embarrassment. And so it was really hard. But I did reach out to Sarah Marble. I think I told Beth, and I told Sarah Marble, and then I told my first level 1, Kim Wilson. But Sarah Marble, Beth was awesome, because she was the one that I would cry to, and she was always checking on me like the next month, how are your points and everything. She was my encourager through everything. Sarah Marble, when I reached out to her, I knew she was the personal development queen, and so I needed to know what I needed to do to get back to diamond. And so she said, you know, Cheyenne, you've got to start basically pouring into yourself. You need to read these books. You need to watch these YouTube videos. I think she sent me a list of things to do. And so I started doing them. I also reached out to Kim Wilson, my first level 1, and she remembered hearing Leslie Zan when she was with another network marketing company. So she reached out to Leslie Zan, and Leslie Zan agreed to coaching me and Kim. And at that point, so in January, it was great. I started feeling a little bit more confident. I realized during all of that I had never led my team. It was truly just treading water while I worked and trying to do Plexus. I didn't know to lead my team. I didn't think of myself as a leader. So anytime my team asked me something, I'd say, oh, so-and-so has a video on that, or here, this is what so-and-so said. I never thought for myself, and I never showed my team that, hey, you know, I can lead you in this. So I started realizing all of that. And then in January, I got Diamond back. And so for the next 6-7 months, I basically hovered around Diamond points. It would go up 200 points and then come down 200 points, but it was staying right there. Well, last summer, so as all of this is happening, I'm learning. I'm taking all of this stuff in. I'm learning. I'm reading books, just, you know, doing everything possible. Well, last summer, I lost Diamond again. And I think it was like 15 or 20 points this time. Same thing, you know, really didn't want to reach out and ask anyone for help because I still hadn't shared my story yet. So it was, you know, I would have to humble myself to do that. But it wasn't as bad because I knew I could go forward. And that's when something clicked in me. And I realized I can't just learn all of this. I've got to be pouring it into my team. And I know some of you are going, well, duh, of course you do. Y'all, I didn't know that because that's not the role I saw myself in. And so I just started pouring myself into my team, and I started just sucking it up and getting on videos in front of people, and just really talking to my team about what I'd learned and sharing that with them, and bringing Leslie Zan out and just different things like that. And y'all, we've been in full momentum ever since. So like Beth said, personal development to me, it totally saved my business. We're in that momentum again, and it's so exciting and it's so much fun. And you know, it's funny because I know my team, they were working in spite of me being a leader or not, but it's amazing what happens when you step up and you take that leadership role and you choose to just be transparent with your team and truly lead them. So over the last few years, or year and a half, I guess, the personal development that I've done is I've had Leslie Zan coach me. I've also watched YouTube videos. I mean, y'all, if there's one on YouTube by Plexus Ambassadors, I probably have watched it. I've also read a bunch of different books. I've read Millionaire by Halftime by Presley Swaggerty, Be, Do, and Have More. He was my high school algebra teacher, so I think he's pretty great. He was my very favorite teacher in high school. I've also read Beach Money, The Flip Flop CEO, Rock Your Network Marketing by Sarah Robbins. I actually loaned that book to somebody. GoPro by Eric Worre. And then this is one that I really like. This has really helped me with how I talk to myself and what I think about myself, but it's What to Say When You Talk to Yourself. But I think I'm going to like this one. This is the one I'm reading right now. It's called Switch on Your Brain. And this is really about affirmations and the way you talk to yourself. And this one was too. But this book right here, Switch on Your Brain, it also has Bible verses that go along with it. So that's what I love about this, is it's directing me back to the Lord. And, you know, one of the things that I've had to start doing is telling myself, I started this before I ever read those books and didn't realize that I was doing affirmations, but I started telling myself, what I have to say is just as important as what anyone else has to say. And I think that's the same for all of us. It doesn't matter if you're just starting out as an ambassador. If you have one customer or you have one ambassador, you are a leader and your team wants to hear from you and your customers want to hear from you. Or if you're a diamond ambassador, it's the same thing for all of us. What we have to say is just as important as what anyone else has to say. And so I started doing affirmations. And if you aren't doing affirmations, I would truly highly suggest you do them, because I think I've become more bold. I've become more confident. I'm telling you, if Beth would have asked me to do this Zoom even 3 months ago, I probably would have said no. I would have come up with every excuse possible not to do it. But it's just affirmations and personal development have truly changed my business. One more quick book. This one is hysterical because he's a little dramatic in it, but it's the 4 Color Personalities of MLMs. And this is a great book. It's by Big Al Schreider. He was at convention last year, and this is really a great book to teach you how to talk to different people, with different personalities. So that's just a little bit of my journey, and I hope that it helps you if you are struggling, or if you're stuck, or if you've gone backwards, or maybe you've only been in full momentum. I hope that you're doing personal development too, because I hope no one has to learn the way that I did how important it is. Somebody just asked, what was a book by Sarah Robbins? It's Rock Your Network Marketing Business. Beth has it.
Cheyenne, thank you so much. I 100% agree with her. And we were just talking about this earlier, that when we first started, everything happened so quickly. And we really, I feel like I didn't even know how it happened. And I've never thought of myself as a leader, because I just kind of don't like to tell people stuff. In fact, we did a challenge this morning, and I texted her and I said, was that okay? I just told somebody what to do, because that's not my personality. And so it's definitely a learning process. But what you have to realize is that you become a leader when you start a team or you start this business. And so I think for me, I was like, I'm not a leader. I'm not Diamond, or I'm not a leader. And I always thought that there were so many better leaders under me on my team that I didn't even know what to do. And so I felt like they knew what to do so much better than I knew what to do. And I didn't know what to do. And so I remember making my first video. I was in Hawaii my first year. So I'd been Diamond, and I'd never done a video because I was terrified to do videos. And now, y'all see my videos all the time. I have hair crazy, whatever. It's just real. It's real life. But I think that that's the cool thing about this business, is that it's real life. And that we're all different people. And so just be who you are. But you've got to learn to be a leader, and you've got to continue growing. Because that's how we've learned. And Cheyenne's right. That day, that year at convention, we looked at each other and we said, we could never do that, ever. And so to see how far we've grown, both of us, and it's almost 2 years. It's almost our 2-year anniversary, Cheyenne, next month. How far we've grown, it's really cool now to see our friends and team members growing like that. And so don't wait until you hit Diamond to figure out how to be a leader. Start learning and start growing. Grab that sideline, grab friends to do it with you, do a book study, start with the easy one, start with the 4 personalities of the MLMs. That book is hilarious. It is short. I literally read it on the way from Lubbock to Dallas, or Dallas to Lubbock, which is a 45-minute flight, read the whole thing. I am not a reader. I hate to read, but it was so easy. So start with one that's easy. GoPro was also an easy one to read, I think. So, but doing this and watching videos and learning, I listen to videos all the time in the car, or sometimes when I'm in the shower or whatever. And that's truly how I've learned. I've watched people and tried to figure out how they're doing things. And so just because you feel like you might not be a leader, or you feel like you can't be a leader, because I felt like that, you definitely are, and you definitely can be. And so growing personally is huge, but it also helps you in so many other things in life. It's funny now to see the people that I have met out here who didn't know me 3 years ago, would have never thought, because all they know is I go around and travel and talk, and I'll tell them that was so hard for me. And they're like, it was? I'm like, yes, I could not have done that. And so huge growth. And I think that's the fun part of it, is seeing how far, you come along this journey, and that this journey is pushing you to different things. But, if you are struggling, don't ever, ever, ever hesitate to reach out to somebody, and somebody that you trust, and ask them for help, or ask them for encouragement. Because, I know with Cheyenne, if I'm having a really bad day, I can just call her and say, I'm having a really bad day. And she'll talk me through it, and she'll be like, okay, but this is, and you know, we're like, okay. And so having that person is huge. And so, but we're all of us are always here to help as well. So anyways, does anybody have any questions? If you do, put them in the comments and I'll ask Cheyenne.
Oh, and you know what? I did want to say one more thing. A lot of what I did too to help become a better leader is, like Beth was saying, I was watching other leaders. I would watch their videos and I would turn around and make a similar video. So I was faking it until I made it. You know, I mean, that's just what I had to do. But that showed me because when I was watching their videos, I was like, oh, I would have said the same thing, or maybe I would have said it a little differently, but it would have had the same meaning. And so then I could turn around and present it to my team, and my team seeing my face and hearing my voice and knowing that I'm there for them. I think that was huge for me too. So just wanted to share that.
We do have one question. When you sign someone as an ambassador and they tell you they do not want to work the business, when do you reach back out to them about working the business, or do you?
I usually wait. I give them, you know, I still walk them through how to take the products and all of that. But I usually tell them in the beginning, I'll tell them, hey, I'll check on you, but you need to tell me when you're ready to work the business. But then at the end of their first month, a lot of times I'll reach out and just ask how they're doing. And if they're loving the products, then I might, you know, say, well, have you shared this with anyone, or have you, you know, are any of your friends asking about it? I'm not a very pushy person, so that's just the way I handle it. And I let them decide when they want to. But, you know, I do ask, it just usually very casually, I guess, ask if they're ready to start working or not. And a lot of times I'll tell them, you know, you just come to me and you tell me when you're ready to work. I've done that with the last two, and both of them said they wanted these big stories. And I kept, you know, I said, well, just remember, we have a lot of testimonies, you know, and it could be a little story that you just feel better after drinking your drink. Y'all, both of them started working. One of them started working within 3 days of signing, and the other one started working within 2 weeks of signing. So I think when they don't feel that pressure, sometimes it's easier too.
Well, and don't feel like just because they say that that's what they mean, because I wasn't going to work this business either at all. At all. I mean, I remember Celeste telling me to post on Facebook, and I told her no. So, I mean, I really had no desire whatsoever. So, but God had other plans. And so, you know, and some people, I mean, it may take them a few months to wait to decide to work it. And so, you know, it's just everybody's timing, and it doesn't matter when they start working it, because they can do it, you know, still succeed at that. So, yeah, so I absolutely don't count anybody out, for sure.
And I also I ask them, you know, well, can I go ahead and add you to our team page? That way they're seeing the contest and they're seeing the questions and the answers, and, you know, they can decide what they do with that. So
absolutely. Any more questions? Anyone? Okay. All right, then. Well, we are gonna say goodbye. Thank you so much, Cheyenne. I know that y'all all, if you don't know her, will fall in love with her, because she's just amazing and the sweetest person ever. And so, but as always, you know, just let us know if you need anything. If you have questions, if you need anything, just let us know. We're always here. So y'all have a great Monday. And if you haven't finished your taxes, finish them. I do know that part of tax. All right. See you later. Bye. Thanks.